Morning, how are y'all doing? Hi, glad y'all could stop in. Just eating my breakfast. Yum. How are y'all doing today? Good morning. So glad to see all of you. I love seeing all these same faces. Man, I love doing this with y'all and just seeing everybody that checks in and does this with me every day. Hi, how are you? So basically, I'm Helen, and if you haven't done this before, then you might not know who I am. But I'm Helen Elizabeth Peters. I used to be Strickland, and before that, I was Weisner. But if you're just now checking into this and just now following me, I'd love for you to check me out. Go look at my blog. It's helenewstrickland.com. You can hear my story there. It's a cool story, and I love to tell it now, but I just kind of want to talk about stuff today. So yeah, go check that out. If you've never done this too, what I've started is this new ministry called My Best New Self. And basically what I want for My Best New Self is just to help women and anybody really just become the best well-rounded version of themselves. So that is my goal. That is my purpose. That's why I do these talks every week, what I'm going to call Coffee and Convos. I was based off originally an IGTV episode that I did, but I'm not going to really base it off that anymore. This is now just like you and me time. And so basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about three things. I'm going to talk about maybe a question that I've received, something in my life that I feel like can better you. And then also just like kind of one takeaway, one emotional / spiritual takeaway that we can take throughout the week and better ourselves. So that's what this is. That's what Coffee and Convo will continue to be. And then, so today, what we're going to talk about. So basically first, what I want to talk to you about is I've received a lot of questions about weight loss and my diet, because I think I posted on my story a couple of days ago, like what's my diet, because I mentioned that I was starting to do my diet for my honeymoon, because Andrew and I did a delayed honeymoon, just because we were so busy. But I obviously gained some weight after I got married, and then I am wanting to lose that, and so I'm going back on my Miss USA diet. And so people have just kind of asked, like, what is that diet? You mentioned it, but what is that? So I'm going to talk a little bit about my thoughts on weight loss and just dieting in general, just briefly. Then I'm going to tell you about my Best New Self boxes that I'm really excited about. And then finally, I'm just going to kind of give you one thought to take away that hopefully will help you through the weekend and throughout the next week. So good morning, everyone. So glad that you're here. You may have just missed everything that I just said about what we're talking about. But basically, I'm just going to talk to you all about three things today. The first is going to be basically weight loss. Obviously in our generation or this time period, and probably always, but that's been a big thing. Everybody's talking about weight loss and like, diet and be keto or do this or do Atkins or, everyone has a diet plan or a workout plan that they're doing that they're really passionate about. And I would say I just love working out. I just love figuring out ways to eat healthy. I'm not really like a gung-ho anything. But what I will say is that when I did Miss USA, I did a very, very strict diet, and part of it was good, I think, and part of it, looking back, I would change a little. Now, I never starved myself, and so most of the time, I think, especially as women, we decide kind of like, oh, the best way to lose weight is to starve myself. Like, I just need to not eat, and I do not think that's just not going to be something that you can do for a long time, and it's also can lead to psychological, emotional, just not good things. So what I like to do is try to figure out what can I do for weight loss that's healthy for me. So my diet for Miss USA consisted, basically just like no carbs mainly, high protein, the basics. Now I'm trying to understand and do a little bit, I'm not trying to be keto fully, but I'm trying to understand more so how fats and different things can help me. And the main thing that I just wanted to say about eating, so this is my breakfast this morning. So I went running this morning, and so this morning it's a pretty big omelet, as you can see, and it has avocado, and inside it has turkey bacon and turkey and mushrooms, onion, and spinach, and then tomatoes. And so what I hope that what I'm trying to do now, instead of going through these levels of lots of food all the time and then nothing, and then lots of food and then nothing, I'm trying to understand how I can feed my body on a regular basis that's going to be healthy, but also it's good for me, and it's not going to make me gain weight, but also I don't know, I want to do things that I've always wanted to eat, things that make me happy. So I will be putting on my blog, I'll be putting my Miss USA diet if you want to take that route. But then I also am going to put on the diet plan that I'm planning to do right now. If you want to try it, if you want to do it with me, I'd love for you to do that. Hi, how are you? Happy Friday to you too. So anyways, so that's just kind of what I want to talk about. I think my next blog that I'm going to do is just on like kind of my experience going through Miss USA and the whole, like, you know, I ended up, I don't know if y'all knew that, but I ended up winning Best Body that year, which was really cool. It's really, it was an honor to win something based on like, wow, we've seen your hard work. You've really worked out a lot and tried. And so I loved that. But there were some psychological issues with that later. And so I think now I kind of just want to talk about that, like not basing worth off, being the best body and competing and all of that. So be looking for that blog because I'll be talking about it. So then the next thing that I kind of wanted to talk about was these. If you followed me on Instagram, you've probably seen too my Best New Self boxes that I'm doing. I'm going to be announcing either today or tomorrow who the winner of that will be. It'll probably be someone in this group because I'm just going to try to find different ways to choose people. So probably I'll look at the names that watch today and I'll choose someone in this group. And you don't have to do anything for it. You don't have to follow anybody, whatever. I'm just wanting to give away boxes of things that like a lot of sponsors give me stuff. And I don't know, I've just had this conviction about going online and being like, oh, look what I got. You know, like, you know how so many people, it's like, look what I got. I don't want it to be like that. I want it to be like, I get these things, I figure out if I love them, and then I give them back to you. And so that is my heart with these boxes that I have. I don't want to take these things for myself. I want to take these things, use them, see if I like them, and then I want to give it and bless somebody else and help them be a better version of themselves. So that's, if you see me posting about the boxes, that's what it is. And I'm just going to bless somebody with one of those boxes and say, hey, I just want to give you a gift today. And it's going to be full of awesome things from Dayspring, things like skincare, prayer beads, all different things. So I'll be posting about those. But moving to like kind of the last thing before I open it up to questions. So be thinking about any questions you'd like for me to answer today. This is just kind of open discussion. I'll answer anything you need. But the one thing I wanted to talk about today that's kind of the takeaway. Last week we talked about stress, right? We talked about how we overcome stress and how we let that go. Today I want to talk about confidence. When I was driving home the other day from Fayetteville, I was on the road and I was just thinking, you know, you meet those people every now and then that are so confident. Like they're just so, you meet them and it's not like a confidence that is cocky. Not at all. Like you wouldn't even say that. And you may not even say it that they're confident. What you might say is, wow, they're really nice. You know, like, oh, I love that person. Like their heart's just so nice. Like I just like being around them. When I'm around them, it makes me want to be better or whatever it is. And you find that like you're drawn to those people. And so I'm realizing, I think what that is true confidence. And so I kind of wrote down, I guess I can't get to it. It's on my phone, but you know, as I'm driving, I have like a little talking thing that I can talk to myself and record my thoughts. But, I was driving and I was thinking, what is confidence? And what is confidence in a Christian or a biblical sense? And one thing that I really felt was on my heart was, you know, confidence is one, knowing who you are. Like it's knowing who you are and liking who that person is. But the reason you like who that person is because you are taking the time to better yourself and grow in all areas of your life. Like if you think about it, insecurity typically comes from an area of your life that you know that you're failing in or you feel that you're failing in. So a lot of times, like if someone comes over to your house and you know deep down that you really haven't been cleaning your house very much, you haven't been taking care of it, and so they just come over and you're like, oh, I'm so, even if it's clean, kind of clean, like you rushed around and tried to clean it real fast, and they come in and you're like, oh, sorry, the house is a mess, and they're like, no, it looks great, what are you talking about? But you keep apologizing for, oh gosh, I'm so sorry, it looks so bad right now. It's because you're thinking of like, I am lacking in that area. I'm not being my best self in that area. Like I have this house and like, I'm so thankful for it, but instead I'd rather sit on the couch and watch TV because I'm tired. I just don't feel like picking stuff up. Right. I think a confident person, if their house was a mess, would still let somebody come in, and it's not something that's on the top of their, like, that's not the first thing that they think about. Like, if they don't bring it up, because a confident person, I believe, has been working on every area of their life, and maybe their house isn't the cleanest, but that week they've taken the time to maybe pick up one room. Or maybe that week they've taken the time to get up and do 30 minutes each day. And it may not be perfect, but they've been working. And then when you have that mentality, it's easy to just let somebody in your house and sit down and say, this is my house. Like, so glad you came over. And nobody, like most people, I would say, unless your house is just like really, really, really gross, most people are going to come in and just be happy to be there to spend time with you, right? I catch myself apologizing for things when nobody's even thinking about it, or mentioning little things that about myself, and that someone's like, I didn't even notice that, or anything, because I know deep down it's an area that I'm not bettering. And so confidence, if you're struggling with confidence and self-esteem, my suggestion today from a biblical or stance is that we should be looking at every aspect of our lives like it matters, not just our spiritual aspect. Like everything that you have, God has given to you. So it's taking the time to say, okay, I will treat everything I have with respect, and I'll try. It doesn't mean you have to be perfect. You just try. And the more that we try, like for me, the more I try in one area, the more that I do just a little something to better myself. The more that I do that, the more confident I am in who I am, and I no longer worry about what someone else is thinking. I no longer worry, is someone thinking about how I left some laundry on that table over there. I'm no longer worrying about, is someone thinking like, oh, she's gained weight, or I'm no longer worried about these things that I was insecure about at one point in my life. And so that's kind of what I want to say to you. So during this upcoming week, like right now, you can think about what are those things that you're self-conscious about. Like, you don't have to tell me, you don't tell anybody, but think about those areas that you're self-conscious about. And I want you to go find in the Bible one thing that it says, and it may not say like, don't be worried about weight loss in the Bible, but there might be something that says, like take care of your body, because that's the temple, or something like that. Find that biblical truth and try for a week just to live by it. And the more that we live by that, the more that we take those moments and we take those things that we're insecure about, and we take on like a biblical truth to live by. When we take that, instead of just worrying about it, but we actually go to the Bible and we take it and we find a truth and we live by it for a week, you're going to be amazed at the difference that you'll see in that area of your life. So like for me, when I was like, okay, I'm self-conscious about weight, or I'm self-conscious about whatever, instead of sitting here and letting it torment me and look at other people and say, oh, I wish I looked like them, or instead, I went to my Bible and I said, okay, what does God say about this? He says, your body is a temple. Treat it with respect. Eat healthy. Don't be a glutton. Like he says, these are the truths that he talks about. So it's this week, instead of starving myself or trying to work out like crazy, I am working out because I'm taking care of my body. I am doing those things. But instead, I'm going to take the time to sit down and say, what is a healthy menu that I can do? And I'm actually going to live by that. Is this going to feed my body in the right ways? Is this going to take care? How is this? And the more that I do that, I'm not really worried about how do I look now? But I notice that I'm more just in a clear state of mind. I think less about what I'm self-conscious and worried about, and I'm thinking more about, how can I continue to get better? There's a positive mentality. I'm no longer thinking about it. And I think those are the people that we like being around. They don't have to be perfect. I mean, think about people you love being around. They may not be perfect by the world's standards, but you don't notice any imperfections. You just enjoy them. And that's the kind of person I want to be. I want to have that kind of confidence that just makes people enjoy being around me, whether or not I'm skinny or fit or have a clean house, or you insert whatever it is that you're struggling with. But that's not what I want to be focused on. I want to focus on being the person that when someone sits down with me, I've helped them grow. I've helped them be a better person. I have made their day better, and they've enjoyed spending that time with me. And that is where I think true confidence is found. So I hope that that's helped you today. I want you to think about whatever it is that you're feeling self-conscious about right now. That we all had those areas. Find a biblical truth. One biblical truth this week that you can live by, that you can write it down, that you can say, okay, this is going to be my mentality, and how can I work in that area? So for me, like it said, your body is a temple. don't be a glutton, different things like that. I was like, okay, what are the things that I need to do that I actually can do that are lasting? And for me, that was, okay, I need to stop eating at a certain time. I can eat enough food to be full, but all the ingredients I put in my body need to be good. Simple things that can make us better every day. Because I will say, we're never going to be perfect, and that's not really the purpose of life, right? We know that we're not going to be perfect till we go to heaven. But I think the purpose is just to be our best self and make Christ known to everyone through our actions and how we take care of ourselves. So I hope that helped you. I know it helped me this week. It has been a huge inspiration for me to be able to let go of insecurities and find confidence in God's word. And I think that's kind of just a different mentality that a lot of people don't really talk about. Yes, confidence is being sure of who you are, but where are you finding that assurance, right? Where's that assurance coming from? And I believe that should come from God's word. So whatever you can do this week, maybe write it, like I've always say, like write it on your mirror, write it somewhere, the first thing you see, but it will help. So I'm so glad that helped you. Love Your Mess is really needed this week. I'm so glad, Tara. Thank you so much for that. If y'all have any questions, I would love to answer. If there's anything you want, it doesn't have to be about what I just talked about. If you have any questions as far as like prayer or anything, I would love to hear those questions. And if you think of it later, please send it to me. I want to hear people's questions. I haven't been good about looking at my message box this week, but I'm going to be doing that this weekend, looking through and answering questions via direct messages and on my stories. So I would love to hear your questions, hear anything you have to say. But basically, I just want to help you be the best version of you. So if there's anything I can do to do that, please let me know. Oh, buenos dias to you. Let me see how people have said, because I really wasn't looking at that. I was just chit-chatting. Speak it. And all right, well, I don't think I have any real questions. Good morning, any real questions. So I'll just kind of leave it at that. But tomorrow I'll be doing a Bible study, and I would love for you to join me for that. I want to go just a little bit deeper into Joshua is what we're in. So we're going to go into that, and I hope that can also encourage you just to be your best self every single day. Good morning. You're so welcome. And I guess that's about all I have today. Oh, be sure to be looking for the box thing. So I'll be posting either today or tomorrow who's the winner of the box. And the box is going to have some awesome stuff. I'm going to post today about some prayer beads and some different moisturizers, different stuff. And if you join Be Tribal Fit, I will be doing that today as well. That is my goal today, to get that set up so we can get started on Sunday. So yay, if you did Be Tribal Fit. Can't wait to get started and be an accountability group with you. And we will see each other tomorrow at 9:50 a.m. for a Bible study. I love you guys so much. Be your very best self in Christ, guys. Have a great day.